Now, we're still not sure who would get the money, but a judge says it's okay for City Council to spend taxpayer dollars on a voter education campaign, even though the election is 1 week from tonight. The lawsuit by a group in favor of instant runoff voting was thrown out today. The suit argued it was wrong for City Council to take sides by approving $40,000 at the 11th hour just because some members are worried about losing their seats. But the judge said he doesn't think at this late date, either side would have an advantage. The group Save IRV says it is considering an emergency appeal of that judge's ruling. Lots to talk about tonight. Let's go one-on-one with Local 24 political analyst and commentator Otis Sanford. So Otis, the decision to toss out that lawsuit basically saying City Council can spend $40,000 taxpayer dollars however it wants to. I don't know if we disagree with that, but why are some on City Council so determined to campaign against something voters have already approved? Instant runoff voting and limiting council members to 2 terms.
Well, Richard, like a kid with $10 in their pocket, they just have to spend this money. They are worried, especially with the first referendum about term limits, moving it from 2 terms to 3 terms. That appears to be heading toward a defeat based on the sentiments that I'm picking up in the community. And so they feel that they have to try to counteract that because they do want those 3 terms. To be fair, councils in the past have used city money to give voter education ads, so it's not that unusual of a thing to do.
Let me ask you about the president's comments about immigration today, suggesting he can use the 14th Amendment, or basically use the executive order against birthright citizenship. It's really fired up both Senate campaigns here. Bredesen out with an ad today touting he's sending National Guard troops to the border when he was governor in 2006, and Blackburn with her own ad suggesting thousands of immigrants might be headed for the Shelby County line if we're not careful. You've covered many campaigns. Why are these two falling over each other on this issue?
Well, because they have found that this is an issue that plays well, especially with Republican-leaning voters in Tennessee. The polling shows that, and that plays to Marsha Blackburn's favor. She has been talking about immigration all along, and so Bredesen is being forced to talk about it because he knows that he has to pick off some of those Republican-leaning voters and independent voters in order to do something. But what Donald Trump is talking about is a con job. Let's just be honest about it. He cannot, by executive order, change the 14th Amendment.
Really quick, I want to get your take on early voting, up anywhere from 100 to 250% in Tennessee, depending on the county. How do you interpret this amazing turnout so far?
Well, I mean, certainly it is going to be an unprecedented high turnout for a midterm election. Even young voters, polls are showing that they are participating a lot more. It's hard to read who that benefits right now, Richard. You would think at this point that a very, very high turnout would benefit Democrats. But it seems as if Republicans are energized as well. This is anybody's ball game next week.
All the more reason to watch Local 24 News on Tuesday night.
Absolutely it is.
All right, thank you very much, Otis.